I decided not to move this year. I decided I don't want to give up my dream of finding that perfect little house for me and Desi. We're fine right here. This is just fine. Boy, she's a beauty, isn't she? Look at that. You don't see that every day. Crack of glass and a little pedestal hat there. Look at this. Oh my god. This is like, I don't know, 1870 Little House on the Prairie. I mean, I did like that show, but I don't know if I want to relive it here.
Somebody ought to come along and let you down, so you could see my side and how it feels to hit the ground. How can you say that nothing's different, that we should pick up the pieces? Somebody ought to come along and let you down. If you still wanted to be loved, you should have never let me go. Hope somebody will break your heart and leave you crying on the floor. You let me down, I won't do this all again. Even if I try, I can't forget it. If you still wanted to be loved, you should have never let me go. Somebody said it should be easy to forgive. We all make mistakes and no one lives without sin. But why'd you have to break my heart? I wasn't ready to let you go yet. And now you're standing at my door, thinking that I'm gonna let you in. But if you wanted to be loved, you should have never let me go. Hope somebody will break your heart, so you could feel this pain and know what it's like to be left out in the cold, standing by yourself.
Thank you so much for coming back and seeing me and Desi. I hope you had a good, happy, safe week. And today we're going to have some fun, I promise. I have some favorites from Amazon, QVC, Target, the thrift store. And I have one dud that is so bizarre, you're going to have to explain it to me. But I'm so glad you're here. I also wanted to take a moment and say thank you to all of you, hundreds of you, who shared in the comments last week how you got through the toughest time in your life. Your comments were so inspirational. I would read them and cry. And, your comments will live forever. They will help so many women. And I was just bursting with pride that I can call you my friend, that we're all here together and we learn from each other. And, well, I just love you to pieces. And I just had to say that. Thank you so much for sharing your life. It takes a brave woman to be honest and to admit that she was down, but that she got back up, and this is how you did it. I can't remember if it was last year or this year, but I noticed when I was putting on my foundation that it was finding my fine lines and wrinkles, and I hated it. It looked good at first, but then an hour later, it would be in some of my creases, and oh, no. And did the formulas change or did my skin change? I don't know. But what I am using now, and I don't use anything else but this foundation, is the Almay TLC. I'm in shade 260 or 250. I'll just kind of mix them together, but it's a beautiful foundation. It doesn't find my fine lines and wrinkles, and it gives me just enough coverage, but it's still, you can see my skin through my makeup. I don't look all cakey. I love it. And I think when you're over 65, there are so many things that are changing. And one thing is our skin. And I have tried high-end foundations and the drugstore low-end foundations, but by far, This is the bomb for me. I just love it. If you're in the market for a new foundation, you might want to try this one. One thing that I get off of QVC is my Bye Bye Under Eye, and I just put in an order and got it yesterday. I get 2 tubes of my Bye Bye Under Eye, and I love this. It gives me a lot of coverage, lasts forever, and it has real staying power. And I love that. And you also get this really cool brush with it. It's a dual brush. One side is for, blending. And the other side is for, blending. This is my Bye Bye Under Eye, and I love it. Now, if you don't want to spend the money on Bye Bye Under Eye, you can get a dupe at the drugstore. And the best dupe I have found for Bye Bye Under Eye is the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer, and this has a little Art Deco packaging. But the consistency and the coverage, it's almost identical. I did a video not too long ago shopping for my eBay store, and I ran into 2 of the most beautiful wall pockets, Iris and Orchid Design, and that's the name of the company. And I wasn't familiar with those wall pockets. Anyway, so I took them home, I showed you, and I put them in my little eBay store, and they sold right away. And then I started thinking, oh, I should have sold one and kept one. You don't know how beautiful these wall pockets are until you see it in person. Anyway, I found another one yesterday, $2.99. It's in perfect condition. It's a different pattern, but I'm going to keep this one, I think, yeah. The only reason I wouldn't keep it is I'm so afraid that I would want more if I kept it. But this is the kind of beautiful wall pocket. You put it on your wall. You don't even have to put anything in it. It's so delicate and so beautiful, and the colors are just so gorgeous. Next up, I want to show you something that I bought off of QVC for $80. I thought, oh boy, I can't wait to get this home. I do not like spiders and flies, and I know you don't always like me to kill bugs, but I can't help myself. Bugs just gross me out. So I get this home. It's the Dynatrap, right? You plug it in, and the bugs are attracted to the light, and then they drop down, and then, the lights are out and they die. Okay, so I've had this plugged in for 3 months, and it has not caught one bug. Nothing. Not a gnat, not a drain fly, not a bee, nothing. It's caught absolutely nothing. It's like a little lantern that lights up, and it's pretty noisy too. So I thought, okay, I'll put it on my balcony, right? It's gonna catch bugs out there, right? Nope. Put it out there, and still not. I mean, I don't know how to empty this because I don't have to, because there's nothing. There's no bugs in there.
2 hours later.
Can you explain to me exactly why I paid $80 for this? And if you have one, do you kill bugs with it? Or I figure, okay, maybe this just entertains the bugs, right? So maybe they're just so mesmerized by the light show that maybe they won't bite us. I don't know. But $80 for something that puts on a show for the bugs? Well, I hope you're happy. You know, Desi, one of the ladies asked me today what kind of games you and I play. We play tag, don't we? But you always win. You have 4 legs. It's not fair. It's not fair. Because I have showed you so many black and white outfits, I did not have one decent pair of black high heels. I would order them and they would be so expensive, and then I would get them and they would hurt my feet, or they'd be too high, or they wouldn't be wide enough. Anyway, you get the drift. These are gorgeous. These are Life Stride. I get these off of Amazon. They are under $40, but they look like $100 high heels. And look at this. Not one of those kitten heels that I can't stand. A real heel, but it looks twice as high as it really is. It's only 1.5 inches, so I can walk in these. And I did size up. So I'm an 8 wide, so I ordered a 9 wide, but still look how cute that is. It fits me perfectly. They're so comfortable. And this looks like leather, and this looks like velour. So total class, you know, thinking of, I don't know, Buckingham Palace. Gets even better. Look at the bottom of these heels. So if you hit, something slick on the floor, instead of, going sliding, this will stop you in your tracks. It just grips. So it's like they went out of their way to make the coolest, most beautiful black high heels for us ladies who find walking in heels a little bit more challenging than we used to.
I think we should talk about it. Diamond deep, let it go, say you want it. Talk about it. Gotta know that you want it. Talk about it. Diamond deep, let it go, say you want it. Talk about it. Gotta know.
And I can't have my air conditioning on because it's too noisy. You won't be able to hear me if I have it. So I'm wilting. So that's why everything is kind of melting here, but we're still having fun, right? All right, bring me the tequila, pool boy. Wouldn't that be cool? Anyway, there are 2 books that I got off of Amazon that I just love, that I wanted to make sure that I shared with you. And this one is Designology. This book tells you about decorating as far as your mood. And if you suffer from any type of anxiety or depression, you can devour one of the chapters in this book, and they tell you about colors and shapes and textures. And I did a video on fighting depression with color, and I got my information from this particular written work. So I wanted to make sure that you knew you could read the same book I am about interior design and our emotions. The other book I got, and it's not for the faint of heart, and it's not for if you're a little squeamish about being a woman in the 80s, and especially rock and roll, and that this book isn't going to be for you. But this is Last Chance Texaco. This is the autobiography written by Ricky Lee Jones. Oh my gosh, I love this book. It depicts so much of what it was like to be a woman when I was young. The way she captures how men are so aggressive with young women, and I had forgotten so much of this until I was reading this book. She had a very tough childhood, and she did a lot of very self-destructive things, and she survived because she could write songs and play guitar and sing. And even though they made fun of her voice and said she sang like a 5-year-old, she still made it. And she still sold millions of records. And she's still going strong in her 60s. She's still performing. I want to share with you a couple outfits that I fell in love with in June. And there is a woman on QVC, Renee, and she does very artistic tops. And they're very just really pretty and whimsical. And I want to show you what this one top that I ordered looks like for summer. And it's like a little dress that you wear over your leggings or your jeans. And I just think it's just cute. And I want to show you, look at these colors. So many of you have said to me, you know, I'm not there. I don't want to show my arms. And I don't want to wear a shrug, you know, like a big jacket that looks like I'm hiding my arms. And I totally get this. Anyway, so what I found is this is a little shrug here, but it's different. This just basically, and I'm going to try to show you how this fits on a dress. But what it does is, instead of it being like a jacket, it just kind of covers your arms, and then it kind of goes underneath your arms. So in other words, the cut of the dress or the jumpsuit or whatever stays intact, but it looks like there's just some very pretty lacy sleeves, and you can get them in black or white on Amazon, or this deep burgundy. Anyway, it is the perfect solution for if you don't want to show your arms, but you still want to wear the dress. I really had a wonderful June, but my very favorite of June is I got to go see Beyond Van Gogh. It is an amazing interactive exhibit where there are 3 different rooms, and you travel through these 3 different rooms, and the music is playing, and Van Gogh's words are being shown to you. And his paintings, I don't want to cry, his paintings are all over, and they are projected everywhere, above your head, underneath your feet. You are absolutely engulfed in Vincent's paintings. And because before you get there, you have read about his life, you feel like you know him. You feel like you love him. And I am not sure that if you don't have a connection to Vincent van Gogh, I'm not sure that this show would be for you. I hope it would. I went with my dear friend Scott, and he knew who Van Gogh was, but he had no emotional connection to him. And he still enjoyed the show. But I was crying and he wasn't. So there you go. But then again, it's me, right? I had a very rough childhood, and music and art got me through, but I had never heard of Vincent van Gogh, and in art class the teacher said, we're going to learn about the Impressionists, we're going to learn about Renoir and Gauguin and Toulouse-Lautrec, and we're going to learn about Vincent van Gogh, Monet, Manet. It was like I wept in class. I was 13 years old. The kids were laughing at me. I couldn't help myself. I could not believe how beautiful these paintings were and how they spoke to me. And Vincent van Gogh would paint nature, the sky and the fields in such a beautiful, happy, whimsical way. But he would paint the human face with such sadness and such torture. And as a troubled child, that meant the world to me, because he was expressing how I felt, but I didn't have any outlet to express those feelings, so he did it for me. So fast forward all these years later, and there I am looking at that difference between how Vincent would paint nature as opposed to his many self-portraits. But it wasn't just his art, it was his words and his quotes, because he wrote hundreds of letters to his brother Theo. But the one quote that I found so powerful is he says to his brother, "I'm nothing. I've never been anything. I'm nothing. But the other day I woke up and I felt like somebody, and I knew I had to do something important." And when I read that was me. I could relate to that because I've lived that.
You know, some ladies call you a dreamboat. What do you think about that? Are you a dreamboat?
I'm telling you, it is so hot. It's like 90 degrees and we need to turn the air on pronto. But hey, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I loved every second of it. And if you get a chance down below, maybe share something that is a favorite of yours for the summer. But please have yourself a wonderful, safe, happy new week. And please have yourself a great 4th of July. We love you. When you're done with your wonderful new week, you come back and see me and Desi, okay? All right, it's a deal. We'll be here.